Hey everyone, my name is Rix, and today I'm going to be talking about 2XKO, particularly its alpha, as today is the final day, and I kind of wanted to get my thoughts and opinions on what I've played so far. I've played both on PS5 and now also a little bit on my PC, and I have some thoughts on the game. Generally speaking, if you're just here for the first, 15 seconds or so, here's my opinions, my short answer opinions, if you will, on 2XKO. Will this game be fun and enjoyable to play? I think so. It's very fun to play as a solo player, but I think you get a lot more value out of playing this game with friends and having a duo system where you can tag in your friend and they can do combos, and just generally having fun is a great way to invite more people to play fighting games. Without a doubt, there is potential things to look at to improve or other optimizations that could be added in the future, but without a doubt in my mind, I'm sold on this game even more than I already thought I was. Alright,
Oh, dodge. Oh, you made that.
oh, yo,
I
figured that beforehand. I was like, I meant to do the other ones to just chip him out, but I was like, you know, on the off chance he has something, I just want to rewind time real quick. Now with the shorter explanation out of the way, let's go into a more deeper look at what makes 2XKO unique, starting with its fuses. At the current moment, there's currently 5 fuses in the game: Fury, Pulse, Double Assist, Freestyle, and Double Down. At the moment, the most popular fuses seem to be Double Assist, Freestyle, and Double Down. Not only because of their potential in terms of gameplay, what you can do, but also just how much uniqueness you can add to the gameplay. Fury seems interesting to me. I'm not personally using it myself. However, it does, I think, need some changes or a buff to it in a sense, because it is strong, but the utility it brings is only good for when you're only one character left on the field and you're at below 40% health. Maybe make it where you can special cancel, with both characters activable, maybe in the combo. I think that'd be really cool. Or just make some new other change for it to make it more widely used. I still think it's pretty cool and a very nice way to, add a comeback mechanic in a sense, an even more powerful comeback mechanic in a sense. But it definitely needs some more oomph into it. Pulse is for new players looking to get into 2XKO. It features an auto combo system, or if you just mash one button, it will do a certain amount of damage, and depending on how much meter you have, it'll do a super after. I personally have not used it much, maybe by choosing it by accident because it's the first fuse after you choose your 2 characters, or just, when I started playing the game when I was able to start playing. That being day 1, I messed around for a little bit, and I was like, okay, let me try a new different fuse and see what I can do with that. I do think Pulse is good for new players because it does, at the end of the day, allow them to see the potential of what they can actually do if they potentially put the time into the game and learn the mechanics, the special moves, and everything else in that surrounding. So I think it's a really nice way to just bring new players in. At the current moment, my favorite fuse is definitely Freestyle. As a person who played a lot of BB Tag, actually that was my first fighting game of all things, but it had a mechanic called active switching or active tag, either or, where you're able to throw out a move as your main character, switch to your assist character, and do another move to switch back to your main character. In that sense, Freestyle is effectively replicating that feeling, and it is such a great way to just mix up your opponent and keep them guessing on when you hit a button, and are you going to think that you're going to switch? Are you going to keep staying as your main character, or are you going to switch to your assist character? It's such a good fuse. It is universally, I can see so much combo potential that has probably not even figured out at this point, because people have been playing this game for over 20 hours now, probably, like straight, I should say that, not like, only 20 hours, but there is so much potential, and Freestyle is my personal preferred fuse, but playing a little bit with Double Assist, playing a little bit with Double Down, I think they both offer their own unique way of utilizing your abilities and everything else. And those 3, at the very least, I'd say, hopefully don't change much. I mean, maybe they nerf them in some way to make them less, crazy or whatever. But honestly, I hope they stay the way they are, because they're pretty fun to me. At the end of the day, I think this mechanic is great and allows players to successfully express themselves in combos. I am a person who just plays by ear and, doesn't have a good idea for what routes with this, or what should I do after a regular counter hit or something like that. I just like to just improvise, and this system is perfect for that. It's a great way to just, like I said, express yourself in combos, and I really, really love it. Speaking about combos, the next thing I'd like to talk about is not only combo limit, but also combo damage. In my personal opinion, and this is like, I've played fighting games for about 6 years. I've been making a fighting game video. Oh no. Ignoring the facts, I think combo damage is, for the most part, alright. Now, I think what it comes down to it is, this game is very frantic, very fast-paced, very hectic at moments. It's what I imagine for any tag-based fighters, where one side could easily steamroll another player if they don't know what they're doing, but also it's, there's a lot of things going on screen. This is a 2v2 fighter. Similar with things like BB Tag or Dragon Ball Fighters or Skullgirls or any tag-based fighter that you can think of, things will get frantic really quickly. So I think damage being as it is, it could be thanks in part to fuses, it can be thanks in part to certain abilities, being able to potentially, make a certain setup or mix up on an opponent who doesn't know what, doesn't block the 50-50 more or less. There's all sorts of scenarios that can come from this damage, and I don't have an issue with it. 2XKO, to me, it's supposed to be a fast-paced game, and there has been maybe a few, actually no, I'll say this, there has been a few occasions where a timeout victory has occurred for either me or the opponent, because, to be honest with you, while the game seems very fast, seconds can just go by like that, and it's suddenly the match is almost over, and it's so many times now, I should say, that this has happened to me, where I just, I get lost in the game, and I look up at the clock when I go a second or two, and see that there's 20 seconds remaining, and I'm like, what? This is damage? Am I crazy? How are we not dead? How is it like we're both on low health? We're throwing out this last stand assist, begging, pleading to get that last hit to win the game, and we have 20 seconds left. And I think it just, I think the damage is fine for the most part. Now, obviously, there is a few touch-up deaths at the current moment in this alpha build, if you will. I don't have an issue with them being here, because at the end of the day, I think these are going to be patched out in some capacity, or you're going to be very, the devs already say this, where they didn't intend for, touch-up deaths. No dev intends for a touch-up death to exist in a fighting game, because I think that would suck, honestly. But I do agree with the fact that if you were to try to do a touch-up death in this game, you need to use up all your resources, everything, to get that one character killed in in the scenario that you're going to try to get this touch-up death. So hopefully, in some capacities, it still exists in the main, or the full release, but not to the point where you're able to, get it off, just get it off really easily and do it do it consistently, I should say. It should not be a constant threat that a player has to be on the lookout for. It should be, can he do it? Can this player get the touch if he has a limited amount of bar, but he has Fury or some other tag assist on hand, and it's boosting his capabilities? Who knows? I think that'd be, that's fun. I think that's fun. I think that's fair. On the combo limit, I do think there is maybe a limit that they can, enforce or show or whatever. But I think in some capacities, in my personal opinion, that would kind of ruin how expressive characters can be in combos. Like I said, the fuse system overall is a great way to express yourself, and I don't hate that maybe there could be an increased limit on what you can do in certain combos, or what you can do with certain strings and special moves and everything else. But I don't want it to I still want to do long combos. I don't know if that means increasing health a little bit more, or making it so you can't do as many whatever. I don't know. There's always going to be a push and pull for this kind of situation, and I think even though this game is technically in its alpha state, the devs, in my personal opinion, I'm not working on the team, so I don't know. I'm just speaking out of my, I'm speaking from my mind, really. I feel like this game is farther than what it should be. Obviously, there's more characters to make and everything else, but the devs, I think, have a good idea on what they want to do for the game. Obviously, they're going to listen to community feedback and everything else in regards to how to improve this title for release, but I think they have a good idea on what they want to, put their attention to, and how they want to, how they want this game to come across when it finally releases. To briefly touch on characters, I think they're all pretty unique and all pretty fun to play around with and also, fight against. My current two characters that I've used more as a pairing is Echo and Yasuo. I thought I'd play more Ahari because I like Fox Girls. She seems like a character playstyle I vibe with. She's marked as Rushdown, but there's just some bits of her that I didn't really vibe with personally. I still think she's a pretty cool character, and I think I will definitely take more time to learn and appreciate how she plays in the future. But I think overall these characters are pretty fun to play as. Echo, especially, being a person who can warp back to his previous position or do other things and set up mix-ups with his Pokeball, baseball, whatever you call it, is pretty fun. Yasuo, for me, I don't normally play stance characters, but his playstyle is pretty flashy, pretty fun, and I like that he rewards careful play, but also if you get in and you can, you know, follow up with things and everything else, it feels super great. So those are two characters that I really like a lot. I think Alawi is pretty fun to play against as well. Her technical gimmick thingamajig is kind of also, I'd say, kind of annoying, but also, I also don't mind it. I see, that they create something pretty cool, and I think it's, honestly pretty also like just kind of fun to mess around with in training mode. I definitely plan to play her a bit more, as I didn't think I'd like her. I didn't think I'd actually play her, but after seeing other players come up with combos and everything else, I think she's pretty cool. Darius, surprisingly, I've not played much actually. I maybe played like a minute or two. I didn't really vibe that much of his stuff, but he seems also pretty unique. He has a unique mechanic he can cause you to bleed, so you take more chip damage or take more damage if you're getting hit. I think he's pretty cool as well. Same with Braum. He has also his own unique mechanic where he can freeze his shield and fire out an ice projectile or anything else that freezes the opponent. I think he's pretty cool. I think he has some nice setups, and also honestly, yeah, the 6 characters that are currently in the game right now, they're pretty fun to play against and play as. And before I forget, the duo system in this game is, I'll say this now, I've not played any game off the top of my head that had a quote-unquote duo system where you can play with another player. I know eventually Dragon Ball FighterZ added a system like that, but I can't really think of any game off the top of my head that had a duo system where you have to rely on your teammate to call out assists and everything else. But I think in 2XKO, it's pretty fun, and honestly, just allows yourself to like chill and relax more. You don't take the game as seriously as you would by yourself. It's very, very, very intuitive and very fun to have just play around with. It is like mentioned with the Fuse system, a great way to get new players into the game, to play with friends and everything else. And honestly, it's a really fun idea. I hope more games that use tag mechanics in the sense in the future allow this to happen, because honestly, I think it's pretty cool. I think other games should look to implement these kind of features into their games for getting new players into the game, because I will admit this right now, I think 2XKO has the potential to get even bigger with duo systems, and with things like duo tournaments being potentially a thing, which already has, it's not a thing, it's happened, but things like that's it's a cool feature and definitely should be applauded to the devs who made this feature a reality. To briefly touch upon a few more things before we end the video today, rollback was great. Seeing it like run or work, whatever word you want to use for it, work so well, now in the quote-unquote the alpha stage of the game, is great to see. That's just and things are probably going to even improve more. So seeing it in this state where it's like it just I maybe had a few issues to a bit of like rollback, like major, like I had to roll back 8 frames or 6 frames, something like that. But like I generally, with the people I played against, I had no issues with it. It was fantastic, and like I said, seeing it in the state that it is now is a good sign. And honestly, things are likely to improve even more to make it even a better version of it. What's in the game right now. The lobby system is, I don't know what to say. It's great. It's fabulous. I personally do not mind these lobby systems where we have to go to a cabinet and play with other people. And not only that, but seeing games being played, like if you walk to a cabinet that's already has like 2 duos playing it, you can wait a few seconds and the screen will pop up and you'll see the fight happening on the screen. I think that's very cool. Having that, or even having the one in the middle where it just has the screen, the permanent screen of a fight that's going on right now or at the moment, is fantastic. And that's a feature I didn't even know I wanted, but that's such a nice way of just like, if you're on downtime waiting for a match to start, or waiting for people to come in, or waiting for our friends or anything like that, it's just a great way to pass the time and see a fight go out. And I really like that implementation of it. Same goes for the casual lobby or the private lobby. I haven't really personally gone there myself since I've had no reason to, but from what I've seen from streamers and other things like that, it's also just a nice chill place. It's a very cool thing. There might have been some minor glitches here and there, or like a minor, I guess not really a bug, but there's other things that are happening that I've seen. The biggest issue I came across was when I started a game and there was just no music in the lobby and then into the actual game itself, and that only stopped after I started playing some sets with one person. So it's a minor thing to look into, to maybe go fix. I don't, it wasn't really game breaking. Yeah, I never say this. I haven't experienced any game crashes or game breaking crazy combo thingamajigs at all. So I'd say for the most part, bug or issue wise, there really wasn't that much I saw, but there was things that let me touch up on that I'm not aware of, personally speaking. All that being said, I consider the 2XKO Alpha to be a success in my book. I had a lot of fun. I put a lot of time into it, both on PlayStation and on my personal PC. And I can say that I've been more hooked. I'm now more hooked to this game than I was before. I definitely didn't, think I was going to get in the first wave, especially, but being able to play this game for over a week and a half now, it has been incredible. And I'm so happy to see that there's been, such a receptive, I would say positive reception. There's obviously things, like I said, that could be worked on or be improved, and certainly the devs are aware of that. But there's a lot of potential here, and I think, honestly, this is a great way to get into fighting games. Yes, it is a tag game, so obviously it might be a little harder than your standard 1v1 fighter, but I think it's a good starting point. And I'm not, like I said, I've only been in the FGC or played fighting games for 6 years, and it's something I need to talk about in my fighting game video whenever that releases. But you have to start somewhere, and I think if you wanted to start anywhere in the fighting game community, it'd be a new game or whatever. If you want to, you can still probably play other fighting games, but if you really want to dedicate your time towards this game, it's going to be free to play likely. There'll be some skins and other things you can buy, like battle passes, the usual for Riot Games. But I think you're going to be in for a good time. So my quote-unquote review of the alpha, it was good. I look forward to more. I look forward to hearing more. And all that being said, that's the video. Hi everyone, this is Vrix after obviously me concluding the video, quote-unquote, but it's actually a lie because I'm going to talk for like a minute or so. I know I've been gone for 4 months. It's something I want to talk about in my community posts, which will come out at some point. I just started up school again, or I should say school's about to start up for me again, which is funny because my last video I did, that was, basically close to the finals weeks of school, so kind of hectic. So now resuming school again, but yeah, it's been a while, so I will say that. But I'm back. I'm hopefully back on the train to making videos. I've been wanting, like I said, you may have heard me mention it, right at the end of the video, but I still plan on making the fighting game video. I've just been busy. I've been kind of in the dumps. I took a break from fighting games for a good while, and honestly, getting back into, or getting into 2XKO and playing that for, a good amount of time, I've realized that these games are cool, and I really want to talk about, my experience with them, and also why you should actually still play fighting games. So that being said, this has been Vrix, I should say. I hope you have a good day or night, and I'll catch you all later. See ya.